coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. During a press conference on Monday in Swift Current with family and colleagues in attendance, Liam Choo announced he's moving on to the next stage of his life. Following weeks of campaigning for the Saskatchewan Party nomination in Swift Current, Everett Hindley has been nominated by members to represent the constituency in the upcoming by-election. The countdown to Christmas is on, and as children on your gift list are asking for computers and other gadgets, Sask in Motion has released its annual Active Toy Guide, filled with a range of ideas to get the whole family active throughout the winter season. Thanks for joining us here today. A familiar face in Southwest Saskatchewan is set to retire from the Chinook School Division. We have more in today's top story. During a press conference on Monday in Swift Current with family and colleagues in attendance, Liam Choo announced he's moving on to the next stage of his life.
I'm going to make a public announcement this morning that I will be retiring at the end of the school year.
Choo says it's an emotional decision to leave Chinook and education overall after 31 years in the industry and 12 years as the Director of Education for Chinook. However, now is the time to make the transition to the next chapter, while spending more time with his family.
My kids are still quite young, so I'm not going to be on the beaches of Mexico soaking up sun 3 months a year. So I'll be more involved with my children in terms of their activities and things like that. I foresee, in a very vague way, probably setting up some type of a consulting shop and going out and providing advice to folks in hopefully more fields than just education, around leadership, around executive coaching, board governance, strategic planning, maybe those kinds of areas.
And as he leaves behind his team at Chinook, he credits all of their dedication and collaboration over the years, helping to achieve various successes, including the Provincial Award for Balanced Literacy and helping students with improving their overall grade scores. And if there were any regrets, only one area comes to mind.
During the start of Chinook, if I had a do-over there, I would have spent, what we tried to do was address the building of a new organization at the same time that we tried to address some pent-up demand on difficult decisions around school closures, around staffing cuts, around some of the work that had to be done. To do it over again, I would have focused more on getting Chinook established, and then once that was done, tried to have addressed some of those tougher things. Because by doing both at the same time, it really created a negative energy around Chinook. And we've been able to overcome that, but it's taken a long time.
A legacy of friendships and dedication to the students of Southwest Saskatchewan, which the board values from Choo's tenure over the years.
But I think you sensed the emotion in the room today. At times you could hear a pin drop, and these are some of the key staff that have been with him through the whole journey. So I think there's gratitude for his service. I think there's appreciation for his friendship. I think there's some sense of grief at the loss of that day-to-day partnership once he retires, and so many more things I couldn't even think of.
This week's announcement is not the final send-off for Choo by the Chinook staff or the Ministry of Education, as his provincial consulting role continues until the end of April, and he'll be helping Chinook with the transition process until the end of June 2018. And in the meantime, Kyle McIntyre will continue his duties as Acting Director of Education for the Chinook School Division. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the staff and management of Pioneer Co-op, celebrating 80 years in Southwest Saskatchewan. Wishing you the best this holiday season and into the new year from Mayor Dennis Perot, City Council, and staff of the City of Swift Current. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the management and staff of Chinook Refrigeration and Air Conditioning, serving Southwest Saskatchewan since 1976. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the management and staff of Pinnacle Financial in Swift Current. Saskatchewan Party members have selected their candidate for the upcoming by-election here in Swift Current. We find out who that is in this report. Following weeks of campaigning for the Saskatchewan Party nomination in Swift Current, Everett Hindley has been nominated by members to represent the constituency in the upcoming by-election. Everett Hindley and Derek Robinson were both in the running for the nomination, left vacant by Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall, an outgoing MLA for Swift Current. Hindley has worked with Brad Wall since 1999, starting out as the constituency assistant at his MLA office in Swift Current, to serving as executive assistant to the Premier since 2007. A by-election will be officially called for Swift Current in the coming months.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation, keeping healthcare strong in Southwest Saskatchewan.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Gus, Louie, and George at the K Steakhouse and Motel. Book your Christmas party or New Year's celebration today. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from David Anderson, Member of Parliament for Cypress Hills Grasslands. Sask in Motion has released its annual toy guide with a long list of ideas to keep youth active throughout the holidays. The countdown to Christmas is on, and as children on your gift list are asking for computers and other gadgets, Sask in Motion has released its annual active toy guide, filled with a range of ideas to get the whole family active throughout the winter season.
I believe the toy guide's been around for 3 years now, and it's a virtual catalog overflowing with great gift ideas. The guide really can be used year-round, not just at Christmas, as a source of active gift ideas. And making sure that kids have active toys and gear will greatly increase the chances that they will be active.
Incentives to incorporate more physical activity, as stats continue to show the sedentary lifestyle that many youth lead today.
What we know is that on average, kids are spending 7 to 8 hours a day on screen. So that's a lot of time, and screen time is actually one of the biggest barriers to getting kids active these days. But we think there's really an easy solution, and that is that if kids get 30 minutes of physical activity at home, 30 minutes at school, and 30 minutes in the community, they're getting their 60 to 90 minutes of physical activity most days.
Active gift ideas can be found online at saskatchewaninmotion.ca. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.